If you're planning to take a cruise, there's a fair chance that you've already started thinking about all of the things that you need to remember to pack to take with you. But did you know there's a list of things that it's really important that you don't pack to take on any cruise? Cruise lines have what they call a prohibited items list, and no passenger on the ship is permitted to have any of the items on that list with them at any time. It's really important that before you take a cruise, you look at the prohibited items list for your specific cruise line just to make sure that you haven't overlooked anything that could be considered obvious. I say that because some of the things that I've found on these lists, I've had to sit back and think, okay, that makes sense. I get it now, but I can totally understand why some people would pack that to take with them. In this video today, I'm going to cover 10 of these things with you. That's 10 things that you must not pack to take on your cruise, because from my research, these things do feature on the majority of prohibited items lists from the cruise lines that I checked. If you do enjoy this video today, and if you find it useful, then it would be great if you would support my channel by clicking both the thumbs up and the subscribe buttons. If you've just found me today for the first time, then I'm Fraser, and I like to use my YouTube channel to hopefully help you plan and have the best cruise yet. Anyway, let's get started with the first of 10 items that you must remember to not pack for your cruise. And we're getting started with hair, and we're thinking hair dryers. It's really important that you don't pack a hair dryer to take on your cruise. Cruise lines have a number of different reasons for this, but generally speaking, any high power usage home appliances aren't permitted. We'll come back to more later in this video. Think about things like hair dryers. They use a huge amount of power, and if they were being used in all of the cabins, there could be a slight issue while you're on board. Cruise lines, similar to land hotels, do provide every stateroom or cabin on board with a hairdryer, so there really isn't any need for you to bring your own and run the risk of potentially getting it confiscated. So just go with what's in the cabin. Don't worry yourself about packing your own hairdryer. Just go with what's there for the sake of the cruise, and you'll be absolutely fine. Number 2, and this one might sound strange if you've never taken a cruise before, but don't bring fresh food onto your cruise ship. The reason why I say fresh food rather than food overall is that you can actually bring some types of food onto your cruise. What is permitted is things like candy that's wrapped, cereal bars, granola bars, all that sort of thing. So you might want to bring snacks for an excursion or snacks to have in your cabin during the day or at night. But just remember, you're going on a cruise ship that will have so many dining options. What cruise ships tend to not really have are things like potato chips or crisps or candy, anything like that. Cruise ships don't tend to have a huge amount of that, but you will find sweet things at the buffet, you'll find savoury things at the buffet well into the night. I've never been on an ocean cruise ship and, to be honest, felt hungry. So therefore, I don't really need to take food on board with me. The only thing I do sometimes take is snacks that I've had if I'm flying to get to the ship, but they're just in my bag. They're still wrapped, they're still sealed, so that's all okay. So general rule of thumb, try and minimise what food you take on board, and remember, nothing fresh. Next, if you like to make your room smell lovely when you're at home, you're going to have to find a way to do that on board that means you don't burn a candle or any form of incense. I am always amazed when I arrive at a cruise terminal and I look at the table of items that have all been confiscated from passengers, and there are always candles on that table. So people must be forgetting that they're on a ship, which is therefore a massive fire risk, plus the fact the ship is moving. So yeah, I don't think I would leave a lit candle on a desk knowing that the room was going to be swaying. It always really surprises me. Candles are really strictly prohibited, as is burning any type of incense. There are alternatives to candles that you can buy all over the internet. I do know quite a lot of people actually who choose to cruise with battery operated candles just so that they can have a nice dim light around the room. They sometimes use that if they have a night in and they want to watch a movie in the cabin one night, or they maybe also use it as really low-level lighting in a cabin bathroom, rather than having to get up in the middle of the night and flick the really powerful LED lights on in the roof, and it might startle you and wake you up. So there are uses for these sorts of things. You can buy loads of battery-operated candles, fairy lights, whatever, on Amazon and loads of other websites. So take your pick. If you want a candle, it's going to have to be battery-powered. Next one, and this one really surprised me. I was surprised to find coffee machines on so many of the prohibited items lists when I was researching for this video. I guess people must take a coffee machine so that they can then make coffee in the cabin before they go out in the morning, or maybe to retreat back to the cabin and have a fresh coffee. I hadn't even thought of that, but the fact that it's on a prohibited list would suggest that people must turn up to the cruise port with a coffee machine. Let me know in the comments if you've ever done that. But there is free coffee available on 99% of cruise ships, all the time, even all through the night. All you have to do to get your own coffee is head upstairs to what is usually the buffet restaurant, which you'll find all the way at the top of the ship in most cases, and you'll find drip coffee in there 24 hours a day. Now, there are some cruise lines that limit that to during meal times, so for example, Costa Cruises in Europe, but I believe every other cruise line that I've ever cruised with have offered 24-hour drip coffee from a machine up at the buffet. You can then get speciality coffees during the day. So if you want a cappuccino or a latte, so on and so forth, you can just order that during the day. So remember, no coffee machines. And that brings us really nicely on to the next item that you must remember to never pack to take on your cruise, and that is a kettle. Now, being from the UK, I can totally understand why some people would turn up to their cruise ship with a kettle, because we Brits absolutely love an instant coffee at any opportunity, and I've been on so many cruise ships that actually do supply you with a kettle when you come on board. You'll find it in your cabin on most cruise ships that are departing out of the UK. Now, while you're not able to bring a kettle on board to boil your own water, you can get really hot water from up at the buffet where you'd be going to get your coffee that we mentioned a second ago. Or you might also be able to speak to guest services or reception when you get on the ship, because as I mentioned, most cruise ships that depart from Southampton in England will carry kettles, and you'll find that when you get on board, there'll be a kettle in the room. For that reason, some cruise ships tend to carry a stock in the back of kettles. I've been really amazed when I've boarded MSC cruises in the past, and I've got on a ship which was in the Middle East. It was coming to Europe for the first time, so it had never been based in Europe before, and I asked my cabin attendant if I could have a kettle, and it was no problem at all, and a kettle appeared. So you can't take your own on board, but ask guest services, ask your cabin steward. You might be able to get a kettle, and if not, you can get boiling water upstairs. Number 6. The next thing you must remember to not pack is an iron or a steamer. Now, these are really useful bits of kit if you're looking to take creases and folds out of clothes after they've been in luggage, travelling for a number of hours or maybe even a number of days while you were making your way to the ship. However, for some of the reasons we've already discussed, it's just simply not safe to allow everyone to bring their own iron or bring their own steamer on board. Now, some cruise lines will offer guest laundry rooms where you'll go in, you'll find there'll be some washing machines, some tumble dryers, and there will also be some ironing boards. Those ships are perfect because if you do want to iron your white shirt or your dress before you go out at night, you can just go in and do it in your own time. However, that is the absolute minority in my experience. Most ships will offer you the ability to send your clothes away to get pressed, but you'll have to pay extra for that. Now, one thing that I have absolutely fallen in love with on my cruises is called Crease Releaser, and you can buy this on Amazon. All you do is spray this crease releaser onto your clothes and then just simply pull the item out. And believe it or not, the creases completely disappear. It is amazing. I can't believe I hadn't found this until relatively recently. You can find that and so many other items in my Amazon store, which I've put together to hopefully give you some ideas and give you some tips for items that you can take on your cruise with you to just help make things a little bit easier. So you can't take an iron or a steamer, but it's well worth buying some crease releaser and just spray and pull it away. Next up, and you might think this is relatively obvious when I first say it, but hear me out. It's really important that you don't pack any novelty lighters when you go on your cruise. Now, matches and regular lighters are totally permitted and they're okay to take on board. If you think about it, if you're travelling with a smoker, then obviously they need to have a way to light a cigarette or a cigar, for example. So matches and lighters are permitted. But there are so many different shaped novelty lighters out there. One cruise line actually calls out very specifically that there are some novelty lighters that are shaped like a gun. That is totally off limits. There is a complete no gun policy on board cruise ships. So if you take a lighter that's shaped like a gun, that's going to be confiscated from you the very second that your bag goes through that x-ray machine. So matches and regular lighters are okay, but any novelty-shaped lighters, just leave them at home. Otherwise, you might be struggling to light your cigarette on board. Number 8, don't pack any electrical extension cords because chances are they're going to be confiscated from you at the port. If you're travelling with a number of people, and you're all thinking about the phones, the cameras, the laptops, the whatever other items you're going to have to charge, you might be thinking, how on earth are we going to do this? Because in one cabin, there won't be enough plug sockets. That might mean that you've now landed on the idea that you're going to bring an electrical extension where you plug an extension into one socket and suddenly you've got 5, 6, 7 different plug points that you can choose from. Now, this isn't permitted on a cruise ship, largely due to the fact that that in itself would be a significant fire hazard or a significant electrical risk. Some cruise lines will be able to supply you with extension cords. You can call your cruise line in advance of the cruise and ask them if it's something that you really need, or you can find an alternative to take with you. Again, in my Amazon shop, there's a number of cruise line approved extension cables which are permitted, so just make sure you don't fall foul and then find yourself caught short when you get to the ship. I know of some people who do use machines when they go to bed at night, and therefore they require a plug point to be either beside the bed or as close to the bed as possible. Now, on the much newer ships, you tend to find that they will have plug points over by the bedside tables, which are perfect for this sort of thing. But on the older ships, that's quite rarely the case at times. Now, in those examples, you should be able to speak to your cruise line to find a way to get power over to the bed, especially if it's something that you need for medical reasons. So yes, number 8, don't pack any electrical extension cords unless you want it confiscated. Number 9, don't pack any drinks with you. Don't bother taking alcoholic drinks or soft drinks unless you've checked the drinks policy for your cruise line and you know very clearly what you're allowed to take. The number of cruises that I've boarded where I look again at that confiscated items table and see bottles of wine, bottles of vodka, bottles of whiskey, despite the fact that the cruise line very clearly says, do not bring alcohol to the port, it completely blows my mind. In the case of alcohol, some cruise lines will not return that to you. So what you might find yourself doing is buying alcohol to take on your cruise with you to then just gift it to the port because you're not going to get it through security, which means it won't be in your cabin and it's not going to make it onto the ship. Now, each cruise line does have a drinks policy where you can find that on their website, and in that policy they'll document really clearly what you are and are not allowed to take on board with you. The reason why it's really important you check this for your cruise line is that every cruise line is completely different. Some will allow you to take 1 bottle of wine per person on embarkation day only. Some will allow you to take spirits on board. Some will allow you to take only soft drinks on board up to a certain amount. Others will allow you to take absolutely nothing, and there are also some that will allow you to ship bulk amounts of alcohol to the ship before you get on. Now, I'm sorry to ruin it for some people, but that last option of the bulk amounts coming on is usually only for very high-end cruise lines doing things like the World Cruise, where a passenger will be on there for hundreds of nights at a time. So I'm sorry, on your 4-night cruise to the Bahamas, you're not going to be able to ship 18 bottles of wine, unfortunately. You're going to have to buy that on board. Now, the main reason why cruise lines limit the amount of alcohol and soft drinks that you can take on the ship is because one of the primary sources of revenue on these cruise ships is the bars. And if every guest is coming on the ship with all of their own drinks, those bars won't be making any money. So just jump on the website, have a quick search for the drinks policy, and check what you are and are not allowed to take on your cruise with you. The 10th thing that it's really important you don't pack for your cruise, because there's a really high chance it'll be confiscated and it could also get you into trouble, is drugs. Now, I've seen people fall foul to this and they simply don't realise the rules and the legislation around this, because in the US, for example, some states have legalised the recreational or medical use of marijuana, so they assume that it'll be totally fine to bring that on the cruise and to use that while on board. Under US federal law, all cruise terminals in the US are federal facilities, and therefore they're all drug-free zones. That means that yes, although your local home state may have legalised the use of certain drugs, it won't be possible to take them on the cruise. I spoke to multiple people when I last boarded a cruise in Miami who did seem quite surprised by that rule, and it was fascinating coming from a country like the UK to hear their views on that. So just make sure that if you do require anything for medical reasons, it would definitely be worth speaking to the cruise line before you go, and just make sure that all of your medication is really clearly labelled, just to be absolutely clear that you're not going to get something confiscated from you that you really, really need. So that's it. That's 10 of the many things that it's really important you don't pack to take on your next cruise. If you've enjoyed this video, then let me know in the comments what you think. Do you disagree with anything here? Is there anything that you've come across on confiscated items lists that you'd like to add to this video? Jump down in the comments and let us know. I'm sure that we would love to hear so much more from everybody else down there. Now, if you'd like to support my channel, then it would be great if you would come with me by clicking that subscribe button. If you'd like to stay with me and watch another video, then why not join me over here? In this video, I share with you some of the things that it's really important you do not ever do in your cruise ship cabin, and some of them might just surprise you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll hopefully see you over there.